better. I can actually hit my other player. Here, let's go back. There. So next time, hello there. So last time we left off, we made it so we could actually just go around and have collisions. So there's really not a lot we have going on at the moment. So what we're going to add today is we're going to add health to the ships so we can actually destroy each other. So we're going to go to the parent of both ships and create the health there. So we're going to add like a health, just a value, and we're going to keep track of how many times the player gets hit versus given a specific number. So we'll assign it a 10. We're also creating a sprite. It's going to be 32 high and 10 wide, and it's just going to be plain white because we're going to color it based on where it is in the health bar. So let's see, where were we? HP equals 10, and in our collision, we're going to come down here, and when we've created our collision, we're going to get reduce our health by 1. And then, and we'll change that later in the game to be a little more specific because we'll have more collisions than just that. The other thing we're going to do is if our HP is less than or equal to the 0, we're going to destroy the other ship, or destroy ourselves. And we'll make it a little more dramatic later, how we actually die, but that's what we're going to do for now. So for flying, so now we test that real quick. I think, yeah, so we died. It was a little more dramatic than we want. It's not efficient because it's too often. Probably lose all the points every step. So what we're going to do is create a health bar so at least we can see what's going on. So in the player ship, we have, in the parent, we have an HP. We're going to create a max HP. And then we're going to create our HUD. We'll call it HPX for now. And so in each of our individual ships, so the player 1 will always have they'll display their health up in the upper left. So what we'll do is we will assign theirs with an X, like 10. And on the player 2 side, we're going to put it on the left side. So what we're going to do is draw it at the width of the port, because there's a different scaling when we're dealing with the draw UI. Minus max HP times, I'm going to get the width of our sprite. I think that'll put it where we want it. So let's go ahead and close all those, each player. And back into our parent, we're going to create a draw GUI. So each instance is actually going to just draw the HUD, but we only have to keep that one location. And so we're going to draw the player HUD. And then we're going to draw we'll do it this way. I think it'll let us do it this way. And our player HP. So we are going to draw the number of times we have our HP. And so we're going to draw a sprite. Extension. And then we're going to draw our specific HP sprite, because that's the one we're going to do. And there's only one image. And this is going to be our HUD HPX. So this is where it's going to be on the screen. And then we're going to put it, that's the height. Actually, we'll just do it from the top, probably like 30 down or 35 down. And we're going to keep it at scale because we don't want to move it, and we don't want to rotate it. And then we're going to want to always keep it visible. But we're going to make it more of a gradient color. So we're going to make red on the left and yellow on the right. So yellow is 255, red is 255. So as we go to the right, we want to get this number higher. And if we're on the left, so the first image, it should be 0. All right, minus 255 times I divided by max HP. So get rid of that. Yeah, I think that's the correct one that we want. Okay, so we're gonna see how that looks on our screen. I'm hoping that will draw what we want. So right now we are, so right now we're only drawing one object. So, oh, because our position, I did not move it, or Y. So we're going to do I times, oh. And we're going to add I times the width. We can either do it this way. It's not as efficient. We can just type the number times 10. But well, this way, if you change your HP image, it'll still draw the width of the image. Yeah, there we go. So we have, up in the upper left, we have the health bar, and in the upper right, we have a health bar. But we want the one on the right to be a little further. I think we had that the wrong way. So what if we just take off this? Yeah, that's what we want. We'll just take off the 1. And we want it to start the Y plus X times the image. Where's player 2? Oh, so we just measured the exact width. What we also want to add is subtract 10, because our player 1 has 10 difference. This player will have 10 difference. So now when we do damage, yep, shows all their damage is going away. So the next thing we want to do is make it so we aren't doing all of our damage at once, and we're limiting our damage. So in our parent, we are going to go over here, and I already did this because it's always takes a while. We want to make our player collide and then flash. So we're going to do, the collide duration is how long the player is going to flash altogether. And the flash rate is how often the player is going to flash, and then during that period. So in our step movement, what we did down here is we're going to we add a collide, And one thing I did wrong one of our earlier videos is I added a collide up here. This will override, this will make it so I can't see the overall up here. So what we want to do is get rid of this up here. And that way we can... Alright, so come down here, we're going to collide, and we're going to set our collide, the number of steps, to the duration, which is going to be 2 seconds. We're going to give the player 2 seconds. And then down here, so if we've collided, okay, so we've wrapped all this up here. So if we're not colliding, so we've not already collided, we are going to collide, say, because we don't want to take away our health if we've already collided, if we're currently in a collision. So if we collide, we're going to start stepping through it, which is the duration of the room, 2 seconds, and we're going to start a flashing. So our flashing steps, this will just change the way our character flashes. Hopefully I got it right. So we'll go down 1. Once we get to 0, yeah, we don't need to do the flash alpha. Oh, flash alpha is we're going to reduce this by 1. And then, so what it is we've got a flash rate as the total number. So 4. So what we're doing is we're reducing the alpha every time we come through here to give it a flashing effect. So we reduce our alpha, get our flash rate, and then if we've gone down 1, we're going to restart it over. So let's see how this looks. Hoping, yeah, that way, when we hit each other, we flash a few times and go back. That way we can actually go through the game, play, and not take too much damage at any single time, limit the amount of damage. There. So we'll do that one more time so you can see. Yeah, so there's the damage. One of the other things I think I did earlier, or did between videos, is I actually created a rotation on these sparks. I think what I'm going to do is create a scale on it. Just a slight one. Maybe I'll give a little more visual difference. The other thing is I picked a number that's to rotate the speed that it's going to rotate. Made sure it was like a prime number, that way it's always different as it goes around. And then in our steps, we're just rotating it as we go along. So let's see if that has a huge effect or just a little bit. Not really. I mean, maybe if we increase this by half and 2. Yeah, that does a little bit more. Makes it a little more interesting anyway. Anything to make the visuals better. I can actually hit my other player. Here, let's go back. There. So next time, right now it's just purely collision. Next time we're going to add incremental score when we die, and then each other. So good until next time. Good luck coding.
Character moves around the screen. I don't have anything to keep him on the screen.